Hi friends, welcome to English Study Point. Today in this video lecture I am going to discuss a poetry by John Donne titled as The Flea. So The Flea is a poem written by this famous person called John Donne, who is an influential English poet and cleric of the Church of England, known for his metaphysical poetry, and he explores themes of love, mortality, and spirituality in his poetry. So, in this particular poem, Donne employs a unique and playful conceit using the image of a flea to explore the complexities of romantic and sexual relationships. And this poem, The Flea, starts with the speaker addressing a woman, drawing an elaborate comparison between their physical love and a flea that has beaten both of them, resulting in their blood mixing within the flea. So, this mingling of blood symbolizes the intimacy and connection the speaker desires. So, Donne's clever use of metaphor and also persuasive rhetoric contrasts the seriousness of love with a seemingly trivial creature, allowing him to discuss seduction and desire in a witty and inventive way. So, as this poem progresses, the speaker continues to argue that killing the flea would be equivalent to killing their love, indicating that their bond is deeper than mere physicality. So, this playful argumentation reflects the metaphysical style of the era, characterized by intellectual and paradoxical reasoning. Now, here I am explaining you this particular poetry line by line. So let's start. Mark but this flea and mark in this. The speaker urges the listener to pay attention to the flea, establishing an immediate focus on this small creature. So this suggests that the flea is significant in understanding his argument about love and intimacy. How little that which thou deniest me is. So here he points out how trivial the thing he desires, intimacy with her, really is, contrasting it with the flea. So this diminishes the perceived seriousness of her denial. It sucked me first and now sucks thee. So the flea has beaten both the speaker and the woman, implying a shared experience of intimacy as their blood is now mingled within the flea. And in this flea, our two bloods mingle be. So by emphasizing the mingling of their blood, the speaker suggests that they are already connected in a significant way, even if it occurs in a seemingly insignificant creature. Thou knowest that this cannot be said, a sin nor shame nor loss of maidenhead. So the speaker argues that their physical connection symbolized by the flea doesn't carry the societal implications of sin, shame or loss of virginity. So this notion of innocence helps to downplay the severity of her reluctance. Yet this enjoys before it womb. So he notes that the flea has achieved intimacy without prior persuasion or courtship, suggesting that nature itself allows for this physical bond, and pampered swells with one blood made of two. So the flea is depicted as thriving and growing after consuming both their blood, signifying the intensified relationship they form through this connection. And this, alas, is more than we would do. So the speaker acknowledges that the flea's union is more intimate than what they are willing to undertake as humans, humorously illustrating their inheritance to act on their desires. Oh, stay, 3 lives in one flea spare. So the speaker implores the woman to consider the significance of the flea as holding 3 lives, his, hers, and the flea itself, highlighting their interconnection, where we almost nay more than married are. So he argues that their bond shared through the flea is even more profound or deep than marriage, making a bold claim that their connection transcends conventional relationships. This flea is you and I and this. our marriage bed and marriage temple is. So the flea symbolizes their union, representing both a bed and a temple, sacred places of intimacy and connection. This further blurs the boundaries between physical and spiritual love. Though parents grudge and we are met. So, despite societal boundaries or parental disapproval, they have found a moment to connect, emphasizing the complexity of love against external opposition and cloistered in these living walls of jet. So, the imagery of being enclosed within the flea, resembling a dark or jet color, suggests a confined space where their love exists, emphasizing the intimacy. Then we see, though yous make you apt to kill me. So here he acknowledges that, like most people, she might ultimately feel inclined to reject him or their connection. Let not to that self murder added be. So the speaker cautions against her killing the flea, framing it as self murder since the flea represents their shared love and intimacy, and sacrilege, three sins in killing three. So he elevates the act of killing the flea to a sacrilegious level because it would betray the bond of three lives. This line humorously implies that ending the flea symbolizes a greater loss, that of their connection. Now, here we see, cruel and sudden hast thou sins. So, the speaker addresses someone, likely a lover, suggesting feelings of betrayal or hurt. Cruel and sudden means that actions or decisions have been taken abruptly and perhaps thoughtlessly. Purpled thy nail in blood of innocence. So, the speaker asks if the lover's action of killing the flea, symbolically representing innocence, has stained their conscience. Purple thy nail evokes imagery of blood, emphasizing the violence of the act while linking innocence with the sacrificed flea. Wherein could this flea guilty be? So the speaker questions the guilt of the flea, presenting the idea that it has committed no wrongdoing. This line challenges the concept of guilt tied to physical actions, positing that the flea is innocent except in that drop which it sucked from thee. So the speaker highlights that the flea's only crime lies in consuming the blood of the lover. This metaphorical use of the flea sucking blood represents intimacy and the merging of two lives, underscoring how love and connection should not be perceived as negative. Yet thou triumphest and sayest that thou. So the use of triumphest signifies the lover takes pride in having killed the flea, which implies a sense of power or victory. The speaker, in a way, confronts them, indicating a struggle for dominance in their relationship. Finds not thyself nor me the weaker now. So the speaker argues that neither of them is weaker due to this act. It's a kind of rhetorical challenge. By killing the flea, the lover hasn't diminished their value, suggesting a notion of strength in choices made. Thus true, then learn how false fears be. So the speaker acknowledges the truth of the lover's claim, then begins to assert that fears, perhaps fears of intimacy or vulnerability, are unfounded or illusory. Just so much honor when thou yieldest to me. So the speaker is proposing that yielding to love means yielding to the speaker will incur no loss of honor, much like the death of the flea does not equate to a significant loss, will waste as this flea's death took life from thee. So the conclusion emphasizes that the lover's loss of dignity or honor in yielding to love will be negligible, similar to how the flea's death was inconsequential. So the metaphor suggests a profound, deep connection between love and life, ultimately presenting love as a trivial yet beautiful risk. So this poem argument epitomizes the complex intertwining of love, honor, and physical intimacy, using the flea as a central symbol. It challenges societal norms about love and purity, showing how fears surrounding intimacy are often baseless and how relationships involve complex exchanges of power and vulnerability. Then with this video lecture ends here. Hope this video lecture will help you in your exams. Thank you.